Let's now take a closer look into the details of the 4 DiSG styles. Let's start with the first letter, the D, which stands for dominance. People with the behavioral preference towards dominance like to question the current status quo. They show initiative and try to change things. Achievement and accountability are important buzzwords. Dominant people prefer independence, they prefer working on diverse activities and also like to control things and focus on solving problems. They make quick decisions and also want to achieve results quickly. They enjoy competition and challenges. They are direct, concrete and straightforward, sometimes even too straightforward. They like to be in the center of attention and love to control their environment. Summing up, dominant people demand a lot from themselves and others, but tend to not be too empathetic. After the dominant style, let's have a closer look at the influencing style. People with a strong I like to socialize and love to persuade others with their opinions. They also like to group with others and try to motivate them as well as bring them together in alliances to achieve their goals. They are usually open, optimistic and like to share their thoughts with the whole world. Influencing people are usually very charming, funny, entertaining and motivating because of their nature and creative manner. But their style also indicates chaos. As much as influencing styles can be innovative and creative, they do not perform their best within rigid structures. They show drive and energy, which, however, sometimes leads them to get lost in details. They generally act spontaneously and are disciplined only as far as necessary. If you try to control them and ask them to do detailed work, this will usually reduce their effectiveness. Let's move on to steadiness. People with steadiness preferences usually have a stronger desire for harmony than their colleagues do. They feel most comfortable within a stable environment that includes security, clear arrangements and a predictable routine. Steady people do not like to be in the center of attention, but they love to be around other people, like to take care of them and, as much as possible, try to please them as well. They are usually structured and love their order, but sometimes find it difficult to deal with change. People with a steady behavioral style strive to create a predictable, organized environment and are usually excellent listeners. Within the organization, the role of a team member usually suits them a bit better than the one of a team leader. People with a concise, steady behavioral tendency have trouble selling themselves and avoid doing so as much as possible. In general, they do not show as much drive and energy as people with a dominant or influencing behavioral style. However, they can steadily develop their specific skills and, if you continue encouraging them on a human and relationship level, you will usually find them working long after an I-type has already thrown their towel. Last but not least, conscientiousness. This behavioral preference is rather introverted and does not like to be surrounded by many people. Conscientious people analyze carefully and then achieve high standards. In doing so, however, they are usually quite critical of themselves and others. Their superpower is to find every mistake. You probably know those kinds of people who find every typo immediately. People with conscientiousness high on their priority prefer order, discipline, and a business-like atmosphere. They are systematic and precise and take into account all the important details, even though they might lose themselves in it. They are prepared for almost any situation and have thought through plan B, C, or even Z. In advance, they have played through any possible scenario. When it comes to conflicts, they tend to be more diplomatic, weighing pros and cons, and prefer to not get involved directly. Conscientious people are also happy to follow instructions if they make sense to them, and they value having their particular skills and achievements recognized. As you can see, each style has its own characteristics. It makes it easy to see what preferences you observe in yourself as well as in others. Think about your team. Which style can you recognize? And which hybrid do you have in your environment?